Despite leading Chapelton Maroons FC to their first promotion to the Jamaica Premier League, Lenworth Teacher Hyde has been separated from his role as head coach. Media reports say Hyde, one of the most successful coaches in Jamaica's history, was told by the club's CEO to tender his resignation. Chapelton Maroons sit 11th in the 14-team JPL after 10 games. Lenny Hyde joins us to talk about the development he admits has shocked him. Good afternoon, Lenworth. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good, man. I go to our sports center. I watch the news and I see nothing. Kimo Jones and Malachi Douglas.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So tell us now. I want you to tell us as much as you can about the phone call you got and what was said to you.
The phone call I got for a couple 10 minutes after the game coming in at the eye. Get a call. He's going forward. He's going forward with the team, man. Oh, I use the youth them to play the Dutch League, which is the Alman and the Costa game on Saturday.
Yes.
And him now not the intention of going home and really not listening. You know?
Yeah.
It's just something to that song. I don't know if I remember. Most of the team.
So he asked you to do what?
To resign.
But didn't he say to you, well, yeah, the reason for that? Yeah, give me the reason for that.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Every time I lose a game, I have a problem. When you win, you don't hear it. When you lose, you will hear it. You know what I mean?
Hold on, teacher. Your audio is not so crisp. Let us call you right back to see if we can get a better connection. Because I want the viewers to hear you properly, okay? All right, hold on. All right, so we have to cut the connection there. Mariah, while we work on getting the connection back, it is useful for us to tell our viewers who don't know who Lenworth Teacher Hyde is. I mean, most of them would know that he is, in my book at least, the most successful Jamaican coach in Jamaica's football history, because he's won more titles with more teams than anybody else. Yeah, well, just won the All the Costa Clash. Yeah, so he's won the Costa Cup, of course. He's won all the schoolboy football titles.
And he's respected where football is concerned.
He's won the Premier League with 3 teams. No other coach has done that. He won it with Harbourview. He won it with Portmore when they were Hazard United in 2002, 2003. And of course, he won it with Tivoli Gardens. He's won everything at the business house level. He is a man who was born to be involved in football. He was the star of the Clarendon College 1977 fabled Da Costa Cup team, coached by Winston Chung-Fa in concert. Teacher Hyde played with Den Hutchinson. They were unstoppable. Many people rate that 1977 team as Jamaica's greatest ever schoolboy football team. And there have been some great schoolboy football teams that people say, yeah, that was a cut above everything we have seen before. And he was an outstanding player for Boys Town after his school days, but an injury curtailed his impact at the senior level, even though he was still fit enough to help Boys Town to win a Premier League title. So this man is highly decorated. He's a nice man. He's a gentleman, and players love playing for him. And so when you hear that a man like that is sacked by a football team, you have to take a step back.
Yeah. You're confused because I remember when the news broke. I mean, I'm not very, very close to the schoolboy football like you all are, but I remember everybody being extremely confused. We had to verify as to if it was true because we knew what he has done, and it was actually coming right off of the All the Costa win.
Yes.
So I'm thinking, okay, so this man just won a title and then he's sacked the next morning. Like it just doesn't add up.
Yeah. So we're trying to work to get him back, and we hope that we have him. Teacher, are you there now?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Your connection is 100% better. You hear me now?
Yeah, man.
All right, good. So you were saying that whenever the team loses, the CEO has a problem, but when you win, he doesn't even call you.
No, you don't hear from him when we lose, him say, why you don't cut that player there? Why you don't run that player? Why you don't run this player? So the last game we lost now is my turn.
So what is it that the public that public was not seeing that you would put your finger on and say, boy, this is the reason that Chapelton started so slowly this Premier League season? Tell me about that.
No, the reason why we started so slowly, you know, that's the thing. We don't have no players. Most of the players, that we use in the Tier 2 competition. Remember, we have 14 players from out of the Dakar team.
Yes.
Dakar. Plus some players from in the area that had played Major League for this team already.
Yes.
So kind of combine the team together and we use the youth them and get them to the Premier League.
Yes.
So now this rule came in that now we can't use amateur. We only can use 5 amateur players.
Yes.
So the players that we are using now is the players them that can play back League Cup next year.
Yes.
The one that are leaving this year, not signing no contract, we wanted them to sign, but you know they are looking scholarships. So
yes.
So they don't sign no contract. So if we are going to use them, we would have to take out one of the amateur players to play. So we'd have to fluctuate 6 rounds, put in, take out, put in. Every match is put in and take out.
Yes.
And so we'd have to deal, and so we are dealing with it until this window year work now, so we can try and get in some players in the meantime while we're doing that.
Yes.
You know? So I don't know why I press the panic button now and say, him now I get relegated. If they say, no, we reach up there. Remember, say it's not a guarantee for the youth that we're winning up.
Yes.
Because we have all of these teams in the Tier 2. And we didn't win the Tier 2. Parkland beat you up in the Tier 2.
Yes.
So it was not given that the Cardinal College youth that were reach top 6 and win Premier League.
Yes.
Okay? We have to build the team, and it takes time to build the team. Only get Cardinal College to play like that. It takes 5 to 6 years to play so if Mr. Scott wants the team to play, he must be more patient and make a build and build a unit and all them things there. But him just jump to go and I don't know the plan we have. I hear that he's bringing in Clovis. As time come down there and we talk and things.
Bringing in who?
Clovis, Dan Piera, the Brazilian.
Clovis, the former national fitness coach and then head coach?
Yeah, fitness man.
Technical director. So let me ask you this, before we get to Clovis then. The plan that you outlined about how you plan to manage the players and then take advantage of the transfer window in January to replenish your playing staff with more experienced players who you wouldn't have any criteria eligibility issues with. Wasn't that the plan you discussed with the CEO before the season started?
Of course, we were doing in the process of doing that. Himself and Naldo, Christian, one of the players who is managing the team and playing right now. Me and him are arranged. We get in 2 players. It's true that the registration didn't came in earlier. I could have them for the Humblion game. And we spoke to Shandy James. He needed to get back to us. So we were in the process of getting in some players.
So how is it? So how is it that he could abandon the plan at this stage when now is the time to get in the players and you've already made moves to bring other players into the squad? I don't understand that.
I don't understand either. The ego and the thing, you know, I'm not patient. They don't have the patience to wait and see the thing develop, you know. That's how it is, you know?
Yeah. So in the way that he communicated to you and told you to send your resignation, have you sent that resignation, or are you saying no? If you want to get rid of me, you're gonna have to fire me. How does that work?
I didn't send no resignation or nothing. I said better you fire me. I didn't say it to him initially. But after thinking, I said, but I don't have to resign from nothing. Don't fire me then, man. Me used to fire it, you know. Remember, me are the most fired coach board players, you know, and the most winningest coach. So I'm not afraid of fire. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's a fire me stand up for my rights. I mean, when me I do and my plan was with the team, you know? You can have so much of a talented set of you. See? And me bring them from there. And you have to fire me. What you think? God, the youth them want them release now. Is that going on now? Everybody leaving.
Right, and Lenworth, does it look as if, based on the fact that you were put on the firing line for the bad run of, form and performances, especially because you didn't get things the way that you would have liked it to be, it's as if they're attributing all the bad results just to you?
Yes. And remember, I said, me a coach Clarendon College in the same breath. Me a coach Chapelton Maroons, you know. So sometimes I'm not at training because I'm with the Clarendon team. See? The cup are going, Chapelton Maroons are going. I coach Chapelton Maroons in the morning and leave and go to Clarendon College in the evening and coach. And so me I work from last year till now. I'm tired enough. From tier 2 come straight up. My wife don't see me and when we come in, I'm tired.
Yeah.
See? I work with Chapelton Maroons and carry them from my Premier League now and we the 10th last night. I choose Tivoli go win now. And here come drop fire there for me. You know?
Yeah, how do you feel though, knowing that, you know, you had put in the work to get Chapelton into the Premier League and now you've been treated in this manner?
Oh, you mean, it's devastating, it's tough, but me all right. You know how much people call me from yesterday? You know how much team called me from yesterday to today?
Yes.
But there a while ago on TFF, I watched the training and a man come to me and said, Lenny, come here, so we are going to give you this, we are going to give you that.
Yes.
Me don't know, me all right. I'm okay.
But Lenny, tell me this though. Were there implications for some of the players being used in the All Augusta All Manning Cup clash at the stadium last Saturday?
No, I never no implication.
Okay.
Just me have the player them go play bush league. What you call bush league?
Yes.
The player them want to showcase them talent to the sports. No sport there.
Yes.
Them want to get them scholarship. And you are looking forward at a school. Remember I said the youth them a school youth, you know.
Yes.
And them not play a one match play the whole 90 minutes and it's agile. So I'm going to take them off. For 2 we have a play tomorrow. I'm going to ease out some of them and put them down.
Yes.
And the match Sunday, at 13 players may have.
Yes.
11 on the field and it was nil all at half time.
Yes.
And Price, Umberland and coach make 3 changes at half time.
Yes.
And those 3 players came on and scored 2 and then come on from kill.
Yeah, the fresh legs kill you. The fresh legs kill your team, teacher. The fresh legs for Umberland kill your team.
Yeah. Because I'm not changing.
Yes.
When me make my 2 changes at 20 minutes leave, if anything went wrong with the goalkeeper, we don't have a goalkeeper.
Yes.
We do have, if everybody gets hurt, we would have finished up with all 8 or 9 teams for the field.
Yes.
Actually, the team club, because the thing is structure right, where we have an executive for bringing a player, get the contract to player, all of them things that are going down there. We have been as a young club, and the man now no patience for building own a club. And you have to spend your money, you have to the patience and build your club.
Yes. Let me ask you this though, teacher. The last thing I want to ask you. I remember in 2017, you gave an interview shortly after you had been sacked from your Premier League club in 2017. And you said that you would never coach in the Premier League again unless you own the team, because these club executives, they were impatient, they lacked understanding, and they were making decisions that weren't in the long-term interest of their football club. And yet, I was surprised when I saw you at Chapelton, because I said, wait, Lenny owned Chapelton because Lenny told the media that we would see him in the JPL again when he was the owner of the Premier League team. Do you regret taking this job? Do you regret going back on your words from 2017?
Yeah. It's true, it was a school youth and Clarendon College, and it was a good idea what Mr. Rowan Rainford. Him started and Mr. Scott and Richard Palmer, the manager of Clarendon College. So it was a good move when we say, all right, we are going to align Clarendon College with Chapelton Maroons because we are in good proximity. And if we can get them to the Premier League, it would have been a feeder program, and it would have end up like we have a little academy down there. The under 14, the under 16. We have players from Edwin Allen, we have players from Lennon, we have players from them in the area, Clarendon. And this team now, Maroons would be the senior team where we can, if them don't get no contract or no scholarship, we make them play that. So we are used this now. So why all of that just gone through the wind that we are fire me? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, teacher, as you say, you are not short of offers. We hope that you will take some time to rest, reconnect, take care of some issues at home, and we hope to see you doing what you do best not too long from now, sir.
Yeah, man. That's all, Fred.
All right, then. Thank you very much. Lenworth teacher Hyde there. So he says that when he made the vow never to return to the Premier League unless he owned the team, he only came back on those roads. He only broke that vow when he was enticed by the fact of Chapelton Maroons being a team that his schoolboys from Clarendon, especially Clarendon College, could go into. So they'd almost have an academy feeding into a Premier League team. So he says that was what enticed him to break his vow. But given how things have panned out, he regrets breaking his vow.
Yeah, and I agree with him. He said home suffered, his wife doesn't get to see him. He sounds very tired. He sounds disappointed.
Yes.
He sounds frustrated.
Yes.
And those things, sometimes people promise you certain things in the heat of the moment, and then when you get into it, it's something else. So I actually feel sorry for him.
Yeah. I don't think they should have abandoned the project at this time. Anyway.
All right, well, some of the big stories still to come here on the SportsMax Zone. West Indies have named a 15-man squad for the two-match test series against Zimbabwe, and a 34-year-old quick Shannon Gabriel is among 3 players recalled. Faz will join us to take a thorough look at the squad. We'll also be discussing another squad, this time a training team named by a Reggae Boys head coach, Heimer Holgrimson. There are 3 schoolboys in the unit led by that man, Dejon Whisper Richards. Is this a step?
Stay with SportsMax on YouTube and follow us on all social pages for updates, news and entertainment.